Hey everyone, and welcome to another Kerbal Space Program tutorial. My name is Tito, and today we're going to be rescuing a Kerbal who is stranded on the moon. So let's go ahead and switch to our tutorial ship. It's going to be your basic lander with one minor change. We've went ahead and added another capsule to it. That way there's somewhere for that Kerbal to sit on his way back. So we're going to go ahead and set this Kerbal as our target. And we're going to get two new markers, our descending and ascending nodes. We learned about this in the last episode. So all we need to do is make a maneuver node that zeroes this out and execute that burn. So I'll see you after this cut and we will execute the burn. So once you've executed that burn, we're going to have a 0-degree ascending and descending node. And next step is to set a maneuver to land directly on top of him. So let's go ahead and add a maneuver directly over the top of him. And we're going to pull retrograde until we have a line going straight up and down. It's good enough. We would time warp ahead and execute this maneuver. Now the only issue is he is rotating. Our maneuver node will not keep up with him. So we're going to need to time warp ahead a little bit and then adjust where we execute this maneuver. Because if we actually execute the maneuver, you can see we're going to land a little bit of a distance away from him. So get relatively close, click the center, drag it, maybe put it a little ahead of him, and we'll go ahead and execute this maneuver. You can use the lock 2 maneuver button, or you can just follow it manually if you don't have that unlocked. So I'll see you when we're on our way down to the surface. Okay, and if you've exited that maneuver, you should be headed more or less directly down towards the surface, pretty much on target. You can see we're not going to be landing super close to him. So what you can do is you can push your retrograde marker by burning in line with it past the target marker. Your goal is to get the target marker and the retrograde marker to the top of the nav ball. So let's burn off so that our retrograde marker is pushing the target marker to the top of the nav ball. I know it seems a little bit confusing and counterintuitive. It's just something that comes with practice. And as that gets closer to the top of the nav ball, we can just go ahead and push our retrograde marker back to the top of the nav ball. A little sloppy flying on my part. That's okay. It's not rocket science. Just get it more or less centered. And then from here on out, it's just a standard landing. So I'll see you back when we're on the surface. So if you've done everything correctly, you should be coming in for a nice soft landing, fairly close to our stranded Kerbal. Go ahead and cut throttle there. Then use your square bracket keys to move over to him. Hit R to engage your jetpack. Use Shift to go up, Control to go down, W, A, S, and D to move up, down, left, and right. You can hold the right mouse button to adjust your camera, which adjusts your heading. F when you get close will grab the ladder. B will board. Don't forget to do your science. So we will go ahead and log our data. Log our data. Do a quick crew report. And one that I always forget, we will EVA and do an EVA report. If you've upgraded some of your complexes at home, you can also go ahead and do a surface sample. Let's retract our landing gear and take off. Usually a bit better to shoot your engines first and then retract your landing gear, but you know, whatever floats your boat. And to get home, all we're going to do is we're going to get into a nice circular stable orbit around the moon, about 15,000 meters or a little bit less, as long as you're clearing those big mountains. So I'll see you back here when we have that. And the last step is to set our escape trajectory out of the moon sphere of influence back into Kerbal sphere of influence and burn long enough to where we are on a return trajectory. Easiest way to do that is think of yourself as the moon. So the moon is now traveling counterclockwise. So its prograde vector is going this way. Its retrograde is going back this way. To get home, you burn retrograde. So we want to leave the moon going that way. So we'll go ahead and add a maneuver. Pull out our prograde, pretend like we're the moon and set it along its retrograde. So we're going to the left, the moon's going to the right. That's how you get home. Pull it out until you have a periapsis of about 36,000 meters. If you use your mouse wheel while hovered over one of these little knobs, it makes fine adjustments. So let's go ahead and get that around 34,000 meters, execute that burn, and I'll see you back here to show you what to do once you get back to Kerbin. And we've exited the moon's sphere of influence. We are now on our way back home. And the big question is, what do we do now? Well, it's very simple. Warp until you get close, and then don't do a damn thing. Just stage. Don't burn, don't point anywhere, don't do anything. Don't turn on SAS. Just come home. It's simple as that. If you've constructed your rocket correctly, it's going to go ahead and take care of everything for you. You want to make sure that you don't have any lightweight components at the bottom of your rocket, so any science juniors that you brought with you, make sure that you stage those off. Make sure you're only returning with your capsules and your heat shield. Might help to go ahead and orient yourself so you're pointed retrograde, but then you can go ahead and turn your SAS off and let the atmosphere take care of the work for you. You can go ahead and stage your parachute at any time. They won't fire until it's safe to do so, not unless you're in a modded installation. So that takes care of it. It's as easy as that. That's rescuing a Kerbonaut who is stranded on the surface of the Mun. In our next episode, we're going to go ahead and show you how to land on the sun. No, I'm only kidding. You can't do that. Have a good one.